Hey everyone, what is going on in your life? From the title of the video, I think you already know what's going on in mine. My plane broke, and I think I almost died. But obviously, I'm here, I'm alive, I didn't die, everything is fine, except for my mental state. I think I am like, you know, when you have like a near-death experience and then you're happy and joyous and everything's amazing. I think that's me right now. But I'm gonna let you guys know what happened. So as some of you know, I was in Dublin recently. I was going home to see family, see friends, just for like 6 days really. On the way back, I was actually travelling through Hamburg, since it's 2 flights to get to Skopje from Dublin, and vice versa and all that. There's no direct flight. So you always have to get to, you get more if you want. I don't want to do that. 2 is enough for one day. But yeah, so I flew through Hamburg, and then I had a lovely day in Hamburg. The vlogs of both Dublin and Hamburg, if you haven't seen them already, you can see them. I'll put the links in the description. Had a great time with both. But coming back from Hamburg to go home to Skopje, there was some issues. So I went to the airport on time, everything was fine, went through security, all was grand. I think I beeped in the metal detector, just the metal detector. Oh no, they didn't have a metal detector, they have those things where you put your hands up, and I was like, is this like gonna kill me? Is everything fine? Am I alive? It didn't kill me either. That's not what the story is about though. Everything was fine. I got on my flight. It was full of Macedonians who aren't the best at traveling, actually. I don't know what that's about, but they're very like not stressed, but they're annoyed and they want to smoke everywhere, which like I get that you smoke, but you can't smoke in an airport. They will arrest you. There's smoking areas. Go there. But we got on the plane, and it was a new plane. It was an Airbus. I knew the name. I saw the name written down. It was an Airbus A300 or 3200, something like that. But I could see it was a new plane, first of all, because it was like an old model, the A300 or whatever the fuck it was. Not important. Plus some extra numbers, I think like -200. But that's not how I knew it was a new plane to begin with, because when I went to my seat, I was off at the back. Much to my dismay, I wanted to change to a front seat, like to pay for my seat to sit at the front because there's less turbulence. But all the front seats were taken, like the whole flight was packed, so that was fine. And I'm staring outside because there's like loads of bits of dust, not dust, like fluff flying everywhere from the trees or something. It's magical. It's lovely. Getting back on track. So I went to the back, I think I was row 27 or something ridiculous like that, like way back. And I got to my seat, and the seats were all weird. So you know, normally like there's seats at the front and at the very back where the cabin crew will sit. And then I think at the back there's like a little door, and they have a little window thing, and they have to pull something out for the pressure. So the cabin is pressurized so we don't die. That was in front of my seat. And I was sitting on the right, and then on the left there was another one. So it was the little cabin crew chair, their little phone to talk to people, and then this giant fucking door with the little pulley-outy thing. I had no window. Like, it was just this door with this little tiny little window, little itty-bitty window with the little thing to pull, and something clicked in my brain. Like, as soon as I saw that, I had a panic attack. And I can't tell you why. I think a little bit of it because it was like, this is a new plane, and then, you know, recently there was the Boeing 737 MAX 8, I think is what the plane was, the 2 planes, the new ones that crashed recently, because they were selling safety features as upgrades, fuck them. But I was thinking, this is a new plane. I don't want the new plane. I know the old planes work, don't give me this. And then also, I didn't want to sit next to the little door. And I thought of telling them, like, if there's an emergency, I'm no use. Don't let me sit here. But I was so fucking tired, and I just started crying. Like, I was crying and hyperventilating. I was like, and everyone was just kind of looking at me. And I sat in my seat, but the thing was, I was so tired because I'd travelled from Dublin already. And I had to get up at 2:30 in the morning. I went to bed at 1. So I had like an hour and a half of sleep. I'd been traveling all day. I'd been to a whole new city I'd never been to before, and I was fucking exhausted. So we were waiting for the plane to go, and it was taking ages. Like, the plane was not moving. A pigeon just landed in front of my window. There's so many things happening today. Yeah, so I just started like crying and then falling asleep, like proper, like, and then like a jolt awake, like all of a sudden, like, you know, when you're in bed and you feel like you're falling and you suddenly like jump and your whole body's like, oh. Well, I kept doing that and people were like looking at me like, oh my god, we're on the plane with a crazy person. I'm like, no, I'm only mildly crazy. I'm not like dangerous crazy. It's okay. But that kept happening, and it was like 7 o'clock at this stage, by the way, to put this in context, that we got on the plane, or something like that, 6:37 p.m. And, like, we were just not going. And then we started moving, and, you know, it does the little slow kind of, I don't know if you've been on a plane, probably, maybe not, but it does, like, the slow going forward on the ground first, and then it does the... Well, we started doing the slow thing, and then we started doing the fast thing, which I was like prepared for, because that's what happens on a plane. It goes, and then we just stopped, and nobody told us anything. Meanwhile, I had the air hostess in front of me, in her seat. Sorry, cabin crew. They're not air hostesses anymore. I had the cabin crew sitting in front of me in her little seat, strapped in, and she looked worried. And I was like, no. You look calm. You're supposed to look calm. And before this, she'd been reading this little manual about, I guess she must have been new or something, but she was reading this manual about what to do in these scenarios. She was reading something about a bomb, like what to do if there's a bomb in the plane, what to do. And I was like looking at it the times that I was awake going, so what is this? But she started looking worried, and then she was on the little phone thing, and she was like, okay. Well, she was saying like in Macedonian. She was Macedonian. And then people started asking her what's going on, and obviously she can't really say much, so she was like, there's a delay, we're gonna be a while, we don't know yet. She really didn't really know anything, because people were asking her, like, when are we gonna go, when is it, and she was like, I don't know, I'll tell you when I know. And I guess if she found out it was something bad, she couldn't tell us anyway, but she couldn't really tell us anything, because she didn't know. So I am sitting there, still falling asleep, still crying, still waking up, like in this big mess, people asking all these questions, and I'm like, freaking out. And we're sitting on that plane, I think 3 hours, maybe 2 hours, something like that. And then they put this like thing, did they say it on the intercom? No, the woman said it to us first, the air hostess. She was like, we're gonna have to, there's something wrong. She said there's something not working. And I was like, something's not working. What's not working? And she couldn't tell us what wasn't working. And she was like, I don't know. So I assume she didn't know. And if she didn't know, she probably couldn't tell us anyway. But she said something was broken. And then a while later, we got like the little intercom thing, and it was the pilot. And he was like, I'm really sorry. Blah, 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 blah. We're gonna have to evacuate the plane. And I was like, what do you mean we're gonna? And I was like freaking out. Because the plane had already started, it was about to take off, and then they slowed it down again. So what if we had taken off? I still don't know what was broken. That's besides the point. We all got off the plane, and I was like texting people inside. I was like trying to figure out what was going on. I had to text my boss to tell him like, I don't know if I'm going to be at work tomorrow, because they were saying like, either we're gonna stay on this plane if everything's fine, which I did not want to do. I was like, the plane's broken, what do you mean we're gonna get back on the same plane? But they said that'll be like maybe 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, we don't know. Could be like in the morning. And I was like, what the fuck? And they were like, but if the plane isn't working, then they're gonna have to send a new plane, and that's probably gonna be tomorrow morning. I was exhausted. I was tired. I was freaking out, and I was like, I'm not getting on the plane. I don't want to wait till tomorrow morning. I don't want to get on this broken plane, this fucking faulty plane. I just don't want to get on a plane. So I started researching buses to get to Skopje, which takes like 24 hours drive. And I was looking at trains and stuff, and then I found a whole route, which would mean I'd have to spend that night and the next night in Hamburg, and then there was a bus directly from Hamburg to Skopje, and I wouldn't have to like go to Berlin first or like whatever. And I was like all prepared to do this. It was going to be like so much money. It was going to be like all my money. I was like, fuck, don't know what to do. But then eventually it was like, 4 hours later at this stage, maybe 3 hours, I don't know. And they were like, they did some tests, the plane's fine, we can get on it. And I, this is really bad, everyone was like, finally, and clapping, and I went in floods of tears. Floods. I was like loudly sobbing. I was on the phone. I was like, I don't want to get on the plane. I was like hyperventilating so bad, and everyone was like, what the fuck is wrong with her? They were all so happy to get on the plane, and I was like, no, the plane's broken. I know they tested it, but it's broken. I don't want to get on it. You don't understand. I was like, I don't want to get on the plane, on the phone, like fucking freaking out. And then because I'd been planning, I was 100% certain. I'd found a hostel I was going to stay in. I was going to get the bus, but then it happened sooner than I had expected that they told us it was happening. So I kind of had to make a decision like really fast. What am I doing? What am I doing? And I just panicked and I decided, okay, I'm going to get on the plane. I'll just get on the plane. And I waited in line and I made sure, like I kept letting people go in front of me in the line. I wanted to be dead last on the plane. And also, another thing, the guy who was sitting beside me on my original seat, his girlfriend had come over from another seat, so I guess they didn't get to sit together. She kissed him or whatever, blah, 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 blah. So I saw them in the line and I was like, hey, do you want to swap seats? And you can sit beside him because I want to sit by that door and I can sit wherever the hell you are. And she was in row 11, I think, so I got to swap with her for a more forward seat, not by the scary door thing. But we got on the plane and I made sure I was last, and I said to them when I came in, I was trying to be like not too annoying because I know it's tiring for the cabin crew as well. They wanted to get home, they should be home by now. They're obviously going back to Macedonia, they're Macedonians, that's where they're staying. But I said to them when I came in, I was like, I don't know, are you able to tell me what was wrong? And they were like, no, not really, but it's fixed now, like everything's fine, they did tests, it's all okay. And I just went, you know what? We're all gonna die anyway, so if I die, I fucking die. I'm too tired to care. They said it's fine. I'm gonna trust them that it's fine. I have Powerpuff Girls on my phone because it's colourful and loud and distracting. I'm just gonna put my headphones on, I'm gonna watch that, and I'm gonna just sleep. I'm exhausted. And I did that. I'm sitting beside new people now. They were really nice, actually. They spoke Albanian, I think, so we couldn't really communicate very well. So, but they were like asking me for, you know, the little pin to open the SIM card for your phone. I had a big hoop earring. I was like, can you use this? And they were like, yeah, perfect. And then I was ordering like, I don't know what I ordered, like a flavored water. I was originally gonna get alcohol, any kind of alcohol to deal with this, but I was like, you know what? I don't need any extra shit right now. I just want some water, but I'm gonna have the fancy sparkling water because I don't know why. I was like, I just want to buy something. So I got that, but they bought it for me, and I think I got some, like, I don't know, snack or something. I got maybe some chocolate, I don't remember. But they bought that for me, I guess, because I was freaking out, and they were nice, and they had euros left over they wanted to get rid of. And then I fell asleep. And then I was jolted awake by some, like, really bad turbulence. I was like, yeah, this is it. This is the end. I know it's turbulence. I understand turbulence. I know what turbulence is and that it's perfectly safe. But I was still like, nope, this is the end. I'm on edge. But it was all fine. I got back to Skopje really late, exhausted, like completely exhausted. I was supposed to get the bus from the airport back to the city centre, which didn't take that long, but you know, then I'd have to get a taxi from there back to my apartment. And I went, no, I am not doing that. I want to get home. So I just got a taxi directly from the airport to home because I just couldn't. I needed to be home. I needed to be home. I needed to be in my bed. I needed to cuddle my cats. I needed everything to be fine again. So that's what I did. I got home. I was exhausted and fuck that plane. It was so bad. I was terrified, but in the end, I was fine. I'm fine now. I think I'm a little freaked out about flying more than I was, so I don't know, I have to get on a plane pretty soon. I might be going to Croatia next month. We'll see how that goes, because that's actually 2 planes as well, because we're not going directly to Zagreb, we're going to Split, which it's either like get a plane to Zagreb and then get a really long bus, or just get the 2 planes. So, we'll see how it goes. But my plane broke, I survived, I'm basically a superhero now. Anyway, that was my story. Thank you for listening to it. Hope you enjoyed it. If the plane breaks, pray if you're religious. If you're not, then just deal with it. I don't know. You'll probably live. The chances are that you will live. It's just terrifying and stressful, exhausting, and mentally exhausting. But thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you liked it or you liked some of my other videos. You can check out the vlogs from Hamburg and Dublin in the description. And then if you decide then you want to subscribe, you can do that. And you can click the little bell button to get notifications when I upload. Also follow me on Instagram if you want to, and Twitter. But Instagram's better because I like that app better. Anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.